I tell my clients, look, if it's even 70% close, if it's even 50% close, the amount of time it saves you, it's still a no-brainer. Again, because yeah, you have all these leads coming in, but who's going to listen to them? Aside from getting together and
we're not 70%.
Drinking some beers and having a good laugh sometimes. Right. There's really no times which you're going to sit together and just start listening to all these call recordings. There's too much. It's too much time. There's too much data. So the recordings are almost rendered completely useless without using artificial intelligence to do the heavy lifting and then just give you the recordings that matter most for you to listen
Correct.
to.
And without even having to listen to the recordings.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll show you on a future slide. We invented a technology called call visualization, which doesn't even make you actually listen to the call. It actually just shows you in real time what it is, and the alert goes out. So one of the things, Bart, I wanted to share with you is it's really important. Number one, you're spending all this money driving leads into the system. You've had call tracking and call recording over the period of time. You've never had anybody actually listen to these calls, which is important. But which ones to listen to and how to act upon it. Why did we get into this AI business? Because we realized that by the time somebody, let's just say you were this amazing doctor that employed an army of people to listen to calls, and let's say you figured this out, that okay, well, we missed this lead. By the time you listen to all the calls, it's like a day late or
right.
2 days late. What can you do about that?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And so we invented this idea called RELO. It's called Re-Engage Lost Opportunity. We said we're going to leverage AI to do something that's never been done in dentistry before, is to recover somebody we just lost 15 minutes ago. Understand having a second chance to make that first impression. So a lead comes in, let's say 9 o'clock in the morning, a patient calls and they don't have any teeth, and they said, I'm looking for a solution that's a combination of full arch or whatever that might be, and somehow we have a wrong conversation. We can't schedule them. They're price shoppers. We give them a price too early, or we whatever it is, we lose that lead. 9:05, the patient hangs up the phone. At 9:20 or 9:25, an alert that shows up on your laptop or your text message saying that you just lost 50 grand.
Yeah.
You lost 50 grand, and here's why. You
happy day.
Yeah,
you
that's
just
right.
lost 50 grand.
And imagine as a doctor, right? Imagine you got a text alert like that, like you just lost 50 grand. Like you're gonna stop everything you're doing.
We're gonna start having to offer mental health coaching, counseling, and a little bit.
Because
you
need anger management, whatever it is. You need whatever it is because you don't want to lose 50 grand 15 minutes ago. And all of a sudden, without actually having to imagine, your treatment plan coordinator, your office manager goes into this alert and says, you know what? Wow. Well, we should have done this differently. We didn't create urgency. We didn't give them options. We didn't do any of this stuff. And all of a sudden, you get on a call with that patient and saying, sir, you called us earlier. You know what? You were looking for an appointment earlier, but something came up. Yeah. We can schedule in, and tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, free CT scan on us.
It's awesome.
Come on in. We love new patients. Our doctor is one of the best in the country. He's done over 5,000 implants. We want you to come in. By the way, as a token, we have a new patient special right now. We're giving free whitening, whatever that might be. But you want to get them in the door.
I think that the RELO alerts. This is brilliant. I think that the treatment coordinators and the front office staff, they're going to appreciate it immensely if we don't send the doctors constant alerts saying you lost 80,000. Maybe we'll just send that to the team to start with.
Right. Right.
I think they'll like that.
It's super, super important to know that, and that's what the alert looks like, right? This was our first patent we got. Mm-hmm. That's when we realized we have a real business. I had no idea. We were just doing this for fun, and we are like, you know what? And then we applied to the United States Patent and Trademark Office up in Washington, and we said, all right, well, we were applying for that. One of my buddies from law school, I didn't go to law school, but he went to law school, and he said, hey, Amol, this is important. Let's apply for a patent. And then all of a sudden we got a patent, and we're like, man, we've done something interesting. We must be innovative because these people are issuing the patent, and a full utility patent. The idea was to be able to look at a conversation and without actually listening to it, understand what went wrong what went right. We do this 14-point inspection across 4 different phases: greeting and first impression, uncover, build relationship, integrity, selling, and interview, and convert and reassure. Across these things, the robot is going to score the person. Well, you are not active listening to the patient. The robot's going to score a 0. It gets a 0 or a 1. And then you get, this call got scored.
Does this robot have a
57%.
name?
We call it Prism Bot. Because it's Patient
we gotta
Prism,
give
right?
better names.
We call him Prism Bot because,
Because who am I going to yell at? If I'm the receptionist, I'm arguing back and forth with this robot telling me that I'm horrible. I have to have a name.
Well, we call him Prism Bot for now. We're trying to come up with we have a dog called Farley. That we call him the follow-up Farley, and maybe he might become the mascot for the robot. We haven't decided that yet, but we'll send you Farley mugs when you become a client, and it's a really cute dog. The idea behind this is to understand that we lost an opportunity, understand why we lost an opportunity, also understand where the team up. One of the things we do a lot, and we've learned this in dentistry, and you've taught this, that if you cannot get the team buy-in into any initiative in your organization, if the team doesn't buy into this, you can buy the best thing in the world, but if the team doesn't buy into the Kool-Aid, drinks the Kool-Aid, that patient experience matters. So what we've done is we've identified green areas in the call where we're giving them pat on the back. Oh, congratulations for asking the phone number of the patient. Mm-hmm. So we're giving them this gamified version of the staff performance report where they get to see the things they're doing good, things they're doing bad, and we're coaching them through the process of, like, by the way, here's what you can do to fix this.
Guys, this is so cool, and this is so useful for our clients right now. If you look, it literally tells you where in the conversation, in the dialogue, to look. Where do we look here, and what do we do? So for a lot of my clients, I might tell them, hey, listen, let's get on this software. If for nothing else, we need to put you on for the full arch funnels. We can't just track it anymore. It's not good enough. The leads are worth too much, and there's too many competitors in the market to do that. So with this, we can track it. We know their leads because they're coming in through the full arch marketing. And then the artificial intelligence, the robot, is doing all of the heavy lifting, correct, sending you alerts, and then throughout the calls that do matter, that it is pointing out, it'll show you within the dialogue, right, what we could have done differently, and it'll give us an action plan on how to recover the lead. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
And so it even tells you, let's say Jamie at the front desk, it'll even tell you that Jamie at the front desk always forgets to mention patient financing when affordability is questioned. Always forgets to mention that. So now I can go to Jamie and say, Jamie, next time a patient calls, you've got to steer the conversation away from how much it is, and you've got to really figure out a way to get them. So we are now able to identify by team member who answers the phone where they're struggling in the conversation. So instead of telling, do better on the phones or go attend these classes, we're telling them exactly where they're struggling. We're telling some of these receptionists that, by the way, they 50% of the time they're not asking for a patient's name to build a report. They're not calling the patient by their name. It's important to ask for somebody's name. I am Amol. Hi, Bart. How's it going? My name is Amol. How's it going, Bart? And saying the person's name develops that, right? Develops that relationship with you. Everybody loves to hear their own name, right? And the patients too, right? Everybody hears their own, and you have to be able to say that. And not doing that and being able to coach your team members, saying that, by the way, Jamie, you need to really, really connect with the patient early on, asking their name, introducing your name, and that's one of the variables that the robot looks at. And this is it. At the end of the day, we're in the business of changing people's lives, patients' lives, but we have to do it by having them trust us. And the only way they're going to trust us if they feel we're competent, if they feel that we know what we're talking about, if they feel that they can actually afford what they're being offered and what they need, and all of that stuff is building trust, because people really buy you. People are not buying a denture, right? People are buying you, and what the Closing Institute has, and all the ones that I have attended, and you Bart, you really talk about, you're selling really you, right? You're selling the why this matters. You're not selling implant supported screws, right? You're not selling screws. You're selling them a lifestyle. You're giving them the gift of health. You're giving them, and if you don't really understand that, that journey, whether it's on your website, on the phone, or when they come in, then you're going to lose the patient somewhere in the funnel. And there you are, spending all this money, but not really getting. You might be doing well, right? You might be doing great. You might be doing $2, $3, $4 million a year, but you could be doing $5, right? And because you're not measuring it,
without spending more.
And that's the key, is to be as you've hired the best marketing agency in the world to get you full arch cases. The least you could do is make sure that you're optimizing these conversions and getting more people in the door.
Well, they ask me all the time, they'll say, Bart, how much do I need to spend to do 20 arches a month? How much do I need to spend to do 10 arches a month? I said, well, how efficient are you going to be? Because there's a couple different options here.
Right.
You can be highly inefficient and just pay more money.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And okay. Or you can pay less money and be extremely efficient. But it's up to you.
Correct.
Right? All of those different areas of attrition we went in at the beginning of the webinar, they're all true. They're all huge issues. But the lead management is something that literally before we spoke, there wasn't a realistic way to handle it. Because what happens if I get somebody 500 calls in a month for full arch? Who's going to listen to these calls? They can see the ones they missed and they didn't answer, and they see how many leads they got. The call recording is there and all that stuff is there, but they don't have the right business optics, and they don't have artificial intelligence saving them all of the time, something listening to it for them. So there was no realistic way for me to say, all right, okay, we've got all the data, now what?
Right.
That was the problem.
Right.
And that is still the problem. And if you're going to utilize advanced analytics for something, it should, if you're going to use it for anything,
right,
you should be using it for the biggest, most profitable, most competitive cases that you're offering. That's what we should be using it for. So this is something that's going to give you the statistics, the business optics. It's going to utilize artificial intelligence to listen to the calls and point out the areas of opportunities within the calls. And RELO is going to give you alerts about missed opportunities pretty much in real time, so that we can take action to try to recover opportunities that were previously missed. And without this, there's just no way to know or understand how efficient you are in terms of handling the leads.
And the last statistic I'll mention here is it's a true statistic. It's 24.6% of your patients who got a RELO alert, actually came back. Imagine having a quarter of your patients who didn't book on the first time come back, and you're not spending any more money to acquire them. You've already spent the money on the ad. You've already spent the money getting them into the door. But imagine 24%, 25% of these people actually rebooking, because now you had a second chance to make that first impression and make all the wrongs right on that follow-up call, and then create this immense loyalty and this goodwill in the customer, that, man, these people cared enough to call me back. And I'm going to go to them, because that memory will be forever etched in their heart that these people cared and they called.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's the power of AI, is understanding what's happening and being able to really convert and really able to deliver this gift of health that all of us in dentistry love to give. And it's an absolutely fun time to be in this place right now, because the market that we're in is going to just explode over the next 10 years.
Well, and it's part of scaling, right? If you have a business that's smaller and your business is generating 20 full arch leads a month, you can manage 20.
Right.
You can get through them. You can listen to all of them if you want, because there's only 20 calls.
Right.
You take 20 and it goes to 200, and 200 to 400, and 400 to 800, and one location to 2 or 3 locations. It's the only way to scale is to start looking at technology, looking at automation, and seeing what you can do to save time, to accommodate the scale in not only production, but the scale in leads, scale in calls, scale in infrastructure. Everything has the scale. And this is just a really, really big part of it. We go through a lot of stuff in terms of lead generation at the Closing Institute also. Everything in regards to full arch, it's the entire sales process, right, from front to back, right? And my only motivation for doing that and for even creating that course was so that the marketing would work.
Right.
That's it. That was my. We didn't get into the. We're a marketing company.
Right.
I didn't want to be in consulting. I didn't want to be somebody that was out doing lectures. I didn't want to be doing CE courses, but it had to be done. It had to be done because they're big cases. It's competitive. They're getting 2, 3, 4 opinions, and they don't know how to close them. We have to teach them a sales process. We'll teach them how to close, and part of the sales process is the lead management. How do you attract a lead with the marketing, and then how is that lead going to be handled, and how efficiently can you get the treatment coordinators qualified opportunity after opportunity after opportunity?
Absolutely.
And how efficiently can we triage out patients that are not qualified without wasting the doctor's time or the rest of the team's time?
You're the only guy in the world that talks about this, which is amazing. So congratulations to what you guys have been able to do. It's an honor for me to be here.
Well, I appreciate you coming down. You used to be from here,
yes,
right? We're in Clearwater, Florida. I'm all flew in from Atlanta to do the webinar here with me today. So I appreciate the effort. And for you guys, those of you that want to learn more, you go to patientprism.com/progressive. And what I did, and I told them all I would do this, is if anybody that's going online, that's going to sign up for a demo for Patient Prism to kind of learn a little bit more how this AI can help you, we're going to comp you one ticket to the Closing Institute sometime in 2022, redeemable sometime in 2022, and we have 4 courses. 2 on the West Coast in Las Vegas, 2 on the East Coast right here in Clearwater. And it's all about how to scale and how to grow your full arch cases, implementing the sales process, and helping out the doctors and really helping out the treatment coordinators so that they can get to all of these leads and close these cases in volume. So I really appreciate everybody that signed on to the webinar. You can go to the link, or you can visit our website, progressivedental.com, patientprism.com, and get in touch with us. But I really hope that I see some of you guys at the Closing Institute boot camps next year, and get online and schedule your demo, because like I said, if you're spending even $1,000 on marketing, then you want to have the data to know how efficient you are in terms of handling the leads.